Hello everyone and welcome back to Dynamite Cop, and this time we're going to look through Mission 2, which is a bit of a step up in difficulty.
Yeah! Go! Move it!
So I can imagine some people might be disappointed that the various missions are just different approaches to the same situation, but I actually love when any media does that. I like seeing how the outcome would be different depending on how things were handled. And there's more than enough differences in new rooms to make up for the fact that it's the same story. Definitely. Excuse me. Just gonna pick that off your corpse, if you don't mind. In this room we obtain probably the game's most famous weapon, the Hairspray. Now the Hairspray has a special combination with another item that we won't get to see in Mission 2, and the Hairspray is entirely missing in Mission 1. You have to play Mission 3 in order to see the full effect of the Hairspray. I also like how this room initially appears to be very tiny and closed in, and then a boat pulls up right alongside it so you have more room to maneuver. It's cute. You already know how to deal with these shell guys, just come at them from an angle. With a weapon is better, but if you can't use a weapon, your kicks will work just fine. So in Mission 2, this is where we fight our first bosses. The location of the first bosses always changes between missions. There's also some cranes on the other side of the ship that we can see from here. And those are not just for show, those swipe across the deck and can and will hit us. And they hurt. So whenever you hear the mechanical whirring of the cranes moving, start paying attention to the background. Hey guys, I remember you from last time. Let's see what an anti-ship missile does to you. Man, you guys are pretty resilient, you know that? But yes, I did promise you'd get to see what an anti-ship missile did to them, and the answer is it hurts them a lot. Oh hey, a collectible. And even if you don't have an anti-ship missile handy, normal guns are really useful for boss fights as well, because, you know, you can keep them the fuck away from you. That's even considering that normal guns don't deal very much damage.
Hurry up with that bomb! And where is that girl? Find her and bring her to me.
Hey, you may remember this room from last time, except now there's new items in it, like this vacuum cleaner, which we have to punch before we can pick it up. I mean, that seems kind of arbitrary, but whatever, it's still a vacuum cleaner we can hit people with. You might have noticed that one of the guys was kicking the vending machine. You know, you can probably just bust it apart. It's not like you're writing here. You don't have to worry about getting your money back. You can just take whatever shit's lying around and sell that. I'm sure those golden statues are worth a lot of money. Unless they're faux gold. But let's assume that it's real gold because this is a goofy game. Holy shit, this is a nice bathroom, though I can think of some issues with putting a working water fountain in here. I mean, that just seems like a huge oversight. But yeah, like I said, this game is really goofy. Those are solid gold bathroom doors. And for the life of me, I couldn't tell you what those chairs were for, but they must be for something. In spite of the wet floor sign down there, we can't actually slip on the wet floor. I've tried. It's not possible. Oh, holy shit, I forgot we could pick up the toilets. This is the best game. You know, the bathroom might be the one place it's okay not to station your pirate minions. But we did see one of them using it, so either they were waiting in line for that one particular urinal, or the pirates operate on a buddy system where you can't have less than 3 guys around you at any time, even while you're pissing. Or else their weird cyborg mutant captain blasts their faces off. Did I just see you enter that bathroom without a friend? Welcome back to the restaurant, but this time it's Japanese instead of French, so no French rolls for us, but there are giant paper lanterns that will knock us over if they hit us. And they will also knock the enemies over because the enemies are too stupid and don't get out of the way. There's also a very tiny moat over to our left, and I love that. That is such a minor detail that nobody would ever pay any attention to. It really sells this whole fancy restaurant on board a giant ship feeling for me. It's not fancy unless you have water flowing in every room. And that's not just something Dynamite Cop taught me, this is from my real-life experiences. We've almost used all the weapons in this room already, which may seem like a big deal, but the only hard enemies we have to worry about in here are a couple of guys with swords. And they have a really long reach and like to poke at you from a distance, so it's best to go around their swords whenever possible. But if that's not possible, just use your kicks, because your kicks have a pretty good distance and knock them down very fast. And these particular ninja variations of the sword enemy are capable of teleporting around at will, which doesn't really help them as much as they probably think it does. But you know, if I learned to teleport, I would probably use it excessively too. Even though there was no point in teleporting onto that table, sir. What the fuck was that? Yes, I am very proud of you and impressed with your martial arts skill, but you need to use it in a practical manner. See, like this pepper shaker. I'm using this pepper shaker in a very practical manner, and I'm getting my ass kicked. So yeah, please take my advice and don't attack them from the front like I did 3 times in a row. Hey there, Jumbo Matsu. Oh dear. Jumbo Matsu has 2 rice cookers over here in the corner, unlike the French chef which only had a barrel. And the rice cookers hurt a lot more than the barrel does as well, so... having a weapon makes it a lot easier to hit Jumbo Matsu from the front, otherwise he tends to block. But aside from the different theme and the different items lying around, Jumbo Matsu is exactly the same as the French chef, which I can't remember the name of. It wasn't as memorable as Jumbo Matsu is what I'm saying. I believe there are still grenades in the fridge, but you do have to make sure Jumbo Matsu is not near the fridge before you bust it open. Otherwise he'll be standing on top of the grenades and then you really can't use them, can you? I'm probably gonna die here because of that stupidity back there with the ninja enemy. If I didn't screw up with that ninja enemy so bad, we would be fine, but... you know, live and learn. Considering we have 8 whole credits, though, I'm not that worried. You can definitely finish this game in 1 credit if you're good enough at it. Even though this is an arcade game, there's nothing bullshit about it in the slightest. Like, it's just a normal game for all intents and purposes that you play in an arcade.
Haven't you found her yet? Never mind. It's time.
Hey, we're back here. That took a while. Oh man, I actually got shot by this guy. So this time there are 2 enemies with guns instead of who we had last time. But as long as you disarm them really quickly, it shouldn't be an issue. Anyway, as I was saying, even though this is an arcade game, it's not a quarter muncher. Especially if you're good at beat-em-ups. Something I like about ports from arcade to home consoles is that the better ports have a challenge mode that is far more difficult than the original gameplay. just to insult you, like, well, if you thought this was hard in arcades, well, fuck you. And we'll take a very brief look at Dynamite Cop's challenge mode after we're done with all 3 missions. This room is the same as it was in Mission 1, just with Sharkmen instead of Crabmen. Anyway, as I was saying about home console ports, Sega in particular has a habit of releasing really brutal ports of arcade games. For example, all the Crazy Taxi games come with challenge modes called Crazy Box, Crazy Cross, and I think Crazy Pyramid. And those modes are infamously rage-inducing. Even as someone who's a massive fan of driving games and loves the Driver series, which is already very difficult, I can tell you Crazy Taxi's challenge missions are worse. And Dynamite Cop definitely follows in that same vein, but even Dynamite Cop is more lenient. The water gun is an incredibly weak weapon, but it does knock enemies down immediately, so there's very little reason not to use it when it's available, just for convenience's sake.
Let's go!
Listen, I told you last time you're not allowed to hold on to that rocket launcher. You don't point that at people. I point that at people. So this room is virtually the same as it was in Mission 1. But you might be thinking, hey, we've been on the ship a while and we're just now seeing a bunch of stuff we saw in the first mission. When are we gonna leave the ship? Well, something unique to Mission 2 is that we don't leave the ship. It's the only mission of the 3 where we don't go to the secret hideout the pirates have. That's because in this mission we managed to catch the pirate's boss before he leaves. And yes, the pirate's boss does have a name, but I don't want to spoil the name. You'll see it when we fight him, because it's a beautiful name. It's even better than Jumbo Matsu, and so is the semi-final boss. All the names are special, but they get better in ascending order. You know, Captain Gonzalez is pretty good, but it's nothing compared to Jumbo Matsu.
Wait!
Now what do we have here?
Don't move! Ah!
Man, we are so fucking lost right now. I would ask these skeleton men for directions, but I'm not even sure they can speak. Anyway, welcome back to the gambling room. We saw it last time when we were looking at survival mode. So yes, it is an actual location in the game, just with way less enemies. But other than that, it's the same. We've already seen these skeleton guys. The biggest concern is that sometimes the bigger skeleton enemies don't have 2 swords, but instead have 2 guns. And that's a lot more dangerous for obvious reasons. So yeah, I think 9 credits is a little bit excessive. But, you know, if you were playing this in arcades, and you were playing it like any other arcade game, and were just mashing buttons, then maybe 9 credits is a good bet. This reminds me, someone recently said they were disappointed that this title didn't get released on Steam or anything later, like most Dreamcast classics. But one of my favorite arcade games from Sega, LA Machine Guns, didn't get a release until the Wii came out. So at least this came out earlier. And after we fight these skeleton enemies, it's time for the video to end, because I told you I wanted to save the semi-final and final boss for last. So all of them are going to end in the same place, right before we rescue our captain. We did get to see the captain do a lot more in this mission, at least. The captain and all of these characters did appear in this game's prequel in Japan, but in America, this game's prequel was changed to Die Hard Arcade because everybody loves Die Hard. And I'm not going to exclude myself from that, but it would have been nice to have the original unedited version. Because I don't think it's debatable how much personality these games have. I'm a little disappointed that none of these skeletons were singing karaoke. I mean, we're even hitting them with a microphone stand and they're still not screaming into it. Well, that was bad. But if you get to the end game and you're only missing 2 continues, you're doing fine. Alright, time for the video to end. Oh yeah, we should look at the survival mission.
Yeah! Go, move it! Go, move it!
Come on!